She wiped her tears and continued to choked up. Do you know how miserable I was during this time? Every day I work hard in a dark black coal kiln, and can only rest for 4 or 5 hours a day, and the rest of the time is all working under a black coal kiln. I can't eat enough, don't wear warm clothes, and I'm often beaten. This is the torture like HLL. You unscrupulous, not only don't seek me or save me, but now I'm so it's easy to be rescued by the Wu family. You even beat me and framed me for raising a little white face. Is that what I deserve? When Noah heard this, he was dizzy. He never dreamed that instead of taking the money to live with some boy, his wife suffered so much. For a moment, not only was he full of distress and guilt for his wife, but he also hated Charlie to death. It turned out that the culprit who took away all of his savings and sent his wife to work in a small coal mine turned out to be Charlie. At this moment, the new hatred and the old hatred made him extremely angry. Harold and Wendy were also gritted with hatred. In the front-end time, the two of them were the same as their father Noah. They both hated her. The selfish mother who fled with money. After the hard life of this time passed, they often scolded her in their hearts. But until today did they know that mother had a harder life than them, and much harder. At most, the four of them suffered some crimes in the detention center, while Horiah suffered extensive torture in the black coal kiln. The old Mrs. Wilson on the side looked very ugly. She didn't sympathize with Horiah's experience, but sympathized with the money that Charlie had taken away. At this moment, the Lady Wilson walked towards Noah in anger, and slapped him severely in the face when he was unprepared. With a snap, Noah was stunned. He looked at his mother, exclaimed and asked, "Mom, what are you doing with me?" The old Mrs. Wilson angrily scolded, "I'm hitting you, unfilial bastard. I told you a long time ago, give me the money, give me the money. If you want to play with me carefully, just grab it. With that little money, you didn't let it go. What happens? The Wilson family is over, with not a single penny to spend?" When Noah heard this, he immediately lowered his head in shame. If he had known that Charlie would get the money, he might as well give the money to his mother. At the very least, he could solve the difficulties of the Wilson group. But at that time, he didn't want to sink with the Wilson group, so he started thinking carefully. But he didn't expect to be self-defeating, beating his own wife, and hurting her. When he thought of this, he was full of guilt for his wife, mother, and even the two children. Thinking of his wife suffering so much, he felt even more uncomfortable, hugging Horiah and crying bitterly. Ragnar walked up to a few people at this time and said in a cold voice, "It seems that you and Charlie both share the same vengeance. If I give you a chance for revenge, will you accept it?" When Noah heard this, he suddenly blurted out, "Yes. I am willing. I want to tear Charlie B. at start alive." The old Mrs. Wilson was a ghost. She had guessed that Ragnar had found her family here just to let her family deal with Charlie. From this, it can be seen that he and Charlie must also have antagonisms. As a result, the Lady Wilson nodded again and again. "Mr. Ragnar, as long as you give us a chance, we will definitely go all out to deal with Charlie." Harold said angrily, "If anyone gives me a gun, I will go and kill the bastard tonight." Ragnar was very satisfied with the attitude of this family. What he wanted was this desperate heart that would kill Charlie. So he smiled slightly and said, "I'm telling you, Charlie and I also have a deep hatred. I want to kill him personally. The enemy's enemy is a friend. That's why I called your family here. If you want revenge, too, then you might as well cooperate with me." Old Mrs. Wilson blurted out, "Mr. Ragnar, just give your orders." "What do you need us to do?" Ragnar said indifferently, "Charlie's life, I will personally take it. As for you, I will send you back to Orus Hill to help you solve all the other problems you are facing now. From then on, your goal is won. By all means, disgusting Charlie, let his family jump and distract him. Before I kill him, I will make his backyard catch fire.